Alright, welcome everybody. I am Paddle, and we're going to talk about common threats for Lyonar, the common cards. This will kind of give you an idea of the cheap kind of cards you can craft per the faction, where they're strong, and, like what you can, go for right away or feel good about getting out of your opening packs and kind of throw into your deck, or what you can kind of craft a little bit more of. Now, when you look at Lyonar, they actually have overall a really good set of commons, or at least like useful commons you can use to start out with, especially when you open your first 20 packs when you start the game. You should have a lot of commons, and there's a lot here that you can use as Lyonar player. Now, Beam Shock for sure, stun a minion, enemy minion, usually not actually that helpful overall. So that's what you can kind of avoid of crafting. You can disenchant it and get the 10 extra spirit and not feel too bad about it actually overall. Sundrop Elixir, this is actually really helpful, especially if you're running into a lot of, like burn and burst combo type of decks. It's also really good if you are running Divine Bond and some of the other buffs that work off of health, because you actually heal up the minions. It's free, so you can cycle it in very well. It's really great with Arcanist, especially Owl Beast, who you can get it back for free. Alquin Lore Master, you can actually cycle this to get a lot of health for free. So Sundrop Elixir I highly recommend as a card that you can actually put in your decks. Or at Nexus, probably on the weaker side of a lot of stuff here, because just stronger buffs you can use, but giving it friendly minion +3 health actually makes a lot of things survivable and is playable depending on what your card pool is. Light Chaser, this is actually a really highly underrated card. It restores 3 health, so it's not really good to play early, even with its low cost. But there's a lot of instances where you're going to take early trades anyways, and a 3-1 body for 2 is actually pretty good. Yes, it's fragile, it can die to a lot of stuff, but the 3 damage is actually pretty high for a 2-cost minion, and so it's pretty good, the fact that it actually gives you health back as well. Sunbloom, it's an AoE dispel, so there's a lot of chance where you can get a ton of value out of this. It's not always, but as far as like an on-target range silence that you can actually throw down anywhere, it's actually pretty good. Lycian Brawler. Now, Lycian Brawler is a pretty underrated celerity unit. Now, you do have Lion that actually got changed quite a bit and actually took over the place of Coiled Crawler. This card, though, for 4 is actually demands a lot of respect. They have to have an answer for it. They have to go for it very hard, because just one buff from Lyonar can actually turn this thing into a powerhouse that deals out a lot of damage because of its celerity factor. It also has a lot of mobility, so it actually has a lot of chase for the faction, which is really, really important, as they've lost a lot of their rush type abilities. Now, you also have Suntide Maiden. Now, Suntide Maiden is actually highly underrated in the 4-drop slot. It's actually one of the only things that's going to push Lycian Brawler probably out of dominance, if anything, because simply it's a 3/6. As long as it's next to your general, it's going to go back to full health at the end of turn. It's actually really hard to deal with this thing and get the 6 health in and kill this cleanly in any form of elegant way, and you have to do all 6 damage in that one turn. Otherwise, you kind of come out as a net loss, mainly by the fact that it's just going to heal at the end of turn. So it's actually a difficult thing to deal with, and in a world where Lyonar actually gets a lot of their damage off of Divine Bond and Lionar's Blessing, Divine Bond's going to be great for this. You get a 9 damage kind of big health unit. It's going to keep healing itself. Even if you dispel this unit at a 3/6, it's actually still going to be pretty good. So definitely something to look forward to. And that's going to wrap up Lyonar. As you can see, they have a lot of good kind of commons you can throw in your deck and be fairly successful, especially with the core basic cards. So they're actually in a pretty good spot if you're going to pick them up, and it kind of gives you an idea of how to use these cards. So definitely, out of all of these, I'd put my stamp on, running some Suntide Maidens if you have Divine Bonds. That's really good. Lycian Brawler for the rundown, and definitely Sundrop Elixir for the heals. Light Chaser, not bad itself. And if you do need a little bit of on-demand kind of dispel, then Sunbloom's going to be great for you.